Are you worried about AI and whether it's going to be something that you have to learn to grow your business, or you should just ignore it because it's just a flash in the pan and it's not going to do anything anyway? Today, we are going to be talking about AI integration inside of your business and the mistakes that I often see small businesses make. My name is Melissa Franks, and I'm the host of the Opt-in podcast, and this is where we go from surviving to thriving in business. Before we get into the nuts and bolts of AI in your business, I want to give you a little bit of my background because this is something I don't talk about a lot and will be helpful for you to know as we go through the conversation. Was lucky. Let's just use it that way. So I was lucky in that my professional career started at the very beginning of what historians now refer to as the dot-com boom. I am absolutely aging myself. And I was also incredibly lucky in that I was working in San Francisco at the time where literally it was a booming revolution of technology of epic proportions and has really paved the way for where we are today. I wasn't a tech wizard by nature. In fact, I wasn't a mathematics wizard. I wasn't a science nerd. I was an English major. I had no business being in technology. What I did have was an innate curiosity and strong communication skills, which meant that I could translate what the business needed into words and language that the technology team could understand, and I could translate what the tech guys were saying to the business in a way that was meaningful and would help them make decisions. And so I was poised at the intersection of tech and business and really got to see in a firsthand way how technology can disrupt in the very best possible way businesses around the globe. I was able to implement the first intranet and enterprise email systems and new technology in stores that still use today, which is mind-blowing. I got to go to people's garages and play around with their tech and got to see the insides of how everything works. So I am passionate, to say the least, about technology innovations. In fact, that led to a multi-decade career inside of all sorts of businesses where technology was at the forefront of what we were doing, and we were transforming very old, very historic, very archaic businesses through tech. And one of the opportunities that I had about 7 years before I left the corporate world was to work on, at the time, what was very top secret, and it was our first bot implementation. And what that looked like is that we had a technology organization offshore, and they were developing machine learning. They were leveraging that to train bots, and then the bots were actually taking actions and processes that humans didn't need to do anymore. They were analyzing things. They were moving things through the workflow. In some cases, they were responding to emails and communicating back and forth, and they began to evolve into what we know today as the modern day chatbot. And we were at the cutting edge of that technology. We were operating with it in a vacuum. We knew people were going to get a little bit nervous and antsy if they knew that that's what we were using and how we were doing it. And I got to see literally from the ground floor what robotics, automation, and machine learning could and could not do. So I'm coming to you today to have a conversation about artificial intelligence from a very informed place. I'm coming from I knew what AI was before AI had a name, because really all AI is a large language model for machine learning that has given a really fantastic, easy to use application so that children and adults, entrepreneurs and large corporations alike can navigate how to use machine learning in their businesses. So today, we're going to talk about what exactly you should consider doing in your business as it relates to AI, and what AI is just simply never going to replace. And the faster you understand that and adjust to it, the better off you're going to be. In the news, literally today, I was reading an article that said that Sam Altman of ChatGPT is looking to raise another $100 billion because Google has outpaced ChatGPT with their Gemini 3 release. By the time I release this, I'm sure that there's going to be more changes, but what I can tell you is that the biggest players in the game are on an AI race. Now, there is a lot of conversation around whether or not there's an AI bubble and whether this thing is actually going to yield any results in the long run. We don't know. So all we can do is become educated and prepared, and that's what we're doing today. So before we jump in to the meat and potatoes of all the things, you now know my history a little bit. You understand why I'm so passionate about this. I want to just tell you and encourage you that if you are feeling overwhelmed, you are not alone. It is incredibly overwhelming right now. You're getting so much information. You don't know if you should be using Claude or ChatGPT or creating your own GPT, or you should use Gemini, or you literally don't know. And you're also hearing that AI is being used all over the place and you have no clue. And so your data is being taken, and I get it. It's overwhelming. So what we're going to look at today is the extremes that all of us are operating on. Some founders believe that AI is going to fix everything. If I just learn how to use it, it will solve all of my problems in business. And then there are other founders that believe the exact opposite. I don't have time to learn this. It's just going to phase itself out. I don't need to figure it out. It's not going to be a big deal in the long run. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. And we're really in this period of transition because as we close out 2025, where AI was the buzz and the new toy and everybody wanted to play with it, and it was all of the excitement and rage, 2026 is when we're moving into where AI becomes an operational tool, where we really start to have dialogue and an understanding around what it can and can't do, how to integrate it into our businesses, and where we can make smart choices to really move the needle. Now, this all comes with both you and your employees, with the people that you contract with, the people that are actually on your payroll, having a lot of emotions about it. There is a lot of panic right now in the marketplace about AI replacing jobs. And the reality is that technology from the Industrial Revolution forward has changed the way of working. And what that means is that some roles cease while others are created. And the great news is that we're in a learning curve. So anybody in your organization that's worried about AI replacing them or their job, know and communicate to them that if that day were to come, that's okay, because they're a human. They can acquire new skills and they can evolve with the technology. Some of your team, or maybe even you, are probably feeling overwhelmed. You are feeling tool fatigue. You are feeling pressure to keep up. And today I'm hoping I can give you a little bit of relief, because the reality is that AI is not a magic fix. It's a time compression tool. It's going to help you buy back your time. Without operational foundations, AI is going to also amplify the problems that you have, and they're going to make them faster and louder. What that means is that if there are things that are not working in your business and you implement AI to address them, you can actually compound the problems and make them much more significant. And we're going to talk through that today. So AI is really good at some things. Like I talked about, I've had a long history with machine learning, large language models, bots, etc. And what I have come to learn is that technology is really, really great at pattern recognition. And it is incredibly good at the following categories of work, which we are going to talk through. There's 4 of them. The first category is admin and internal operations. What do I mean by that? AI is fantastic at meeting summaries that you can actually use. Depending on the tool that you use and the level of sophistication, you get meeting notes, you get action items, you get follow-ups, you can actually integrate it into your calendar so it's scheduling follow-up meetings. You have the information synthesized in a way so that you can retain what really matters. In fact, 2 weeks ago, I had a meeting with a client, bless their hearts because they're so kind to me, and I was really sick. In fact, after that, I actually took a couple of days off work because I was so sick, had antibiotics, the whole thing. And I don't meet with them every week. And this morning, I got a message from them, hey, do you have the Zoom link for our meeting? And oh, dang it, I didn't know what they were talking about. The very first thing that I did is I went into my AI note taker for the last meeting that we had, and I found that not only had I committed to having a meeting today, I had committed to having a future meeting as well. Well, the good news was I was able to send them a Zoom link and we got in the meeting and we accomplished all of our goals. And the even better news was that the AI tool had documented when I had committed to us having a follow-up meeting, and I was able to schedule it and not miss a beat. AI tools are amazing at meeting summaries and keeping you on track. It also helps you delegate action items to people that weren't in the meeting and can get them to catch up if they couldn't make the meeting for some reason. AI tools are also really, really fantastic at doing things like drafting standard operating procedures and workflows from messy notes. So whatever your work product is, it can even be that you voice narrate yourself following the process and then upload that into an AI tool. It can take all of that information and synthesize it down into a standardized format that you communicate that you would like to have. So of course you've got to structure it and use your brain for that, and it will pop back out exactly what you need. It compresses time. It's so much faster for you to do it once and then have AI format it and make sense of it and point out to you where there are gaps or inconsistencies than if you did it yourself over time. It can also enable inbox prioritization and triage depending on how integrated your AI tools are, and it can help you draft internal communications, updates, recaps, reminders, all of those things when you give it the right information to be able to do what you want. These tasks don't require creativity or ownership, which means that they're perfect for artificial intelligence to execute. The second is marketing and content. Now, there is a lot of differing opinions about this, and I'm going to tell you that you need to create the original thought and organic content once, and then, friends, ask AI to repurpose it for you. So it's fantastic at repurposing long-form content into social posts, blog posts, scripts, newsletters, you name it. It's wonderful for testing headline variations, thumbnail variations, hooks. It's great for drafting frameworks or outlines for the team when you give it content already and you ask it to, hey, create an outline for the team, or please build a freebie off of this hour masterclass that I did. It's so good at compressing that information and creating bite-sized pieces. And it's also fantastic for organizing raw ideas it's also fantastic at organizing raw ideas into usable content. AI can support your voice, but it can't own your voice. It's important and imperative that I stop here and say AI cannot be your brand. AI cannot be your original thoughts. You have to do the thinking. You have to cultivate the voice. You have to have the brand integrity in place. AI can execute from those frameworks that you provide to it when you give it the content that you need to be able to generate the output you're looking for. The third thing that AI is really good at is customer experience and frontline ops. Now, this is something that is a slippery slope. I talk to my clients about this all of the time. As soon as they figure out how AI works, they want it to streamline all of their customer support and customer experience communications. That's a bit dangerous.